So, as I was researching about this topic, about the relationship between the health of and the ocean, I realized that they're more closely related than I had realized. Not only do we have ocean species that have helped in medical discoveries, but the effects of human action on the ocean affect the ocean's health, and this in turn affects our health. A clear example of this is pollution. Chemical pollution, for example, such as oil spills, kills thousands of species. It's estimated that the 2010 BP oil spill pushed overfished species closer to the brink of extinction. And also, people in close contact with these oil spills have shown physical and mental negative effects. Also, the effect of chemical pollution on fish and shellfish result in food shortages that can put in danger many small communities. Another example, and a very common and big example, is plastic pollution. A recent study found that we had underestimated the amount of microplastics that we have in our ocean. In 2019, a study found that there's up to 8.3 million pieces of microplastics per square meter of the ocean. The issue is so serious that even plankton have been found to have microplastics in their systems. As we eat seafood, toxic chemicals from microplastics ingested by the fish go into our system, and this can cause autoimmune system suppression, birth defects, and endocrine disruption. Also, estimates calculate that we eat up to a credit card worth of plastic each week. So I think that really puts into perspective how much of the plastic we put into the oceans is affecting us as well. The current pandemic is expected to worsen the pollution issue, as only 1% of the face masks used are disposed of correctly. Already, thousands of gloves, gowns, and face masks have been washing up on the shores, highlighting the deficient waste management plans that exist today. However, COVID-19 does not only pose a threat to our oceans, it's also an opportunity. COVID-19 has shown us that if an issue is taken seriously enough, changes can and will happen. Extraordinary measures have been taken as the World Health Organization named the virus a pandemic, and countries around the world established it as an emergency, indirectly causing a drastic decrease in greenhouse gas emissions. If the climate emergency is treated as such, we can reduce carbon emissions to a point where positive effects start becoming evident in our marine ecosystems. It's also important to mention that not doing anything to mitigate climate change will result in a bigger economic crisis than the one we're already approaching because of the virus. As I mentioned earlier, bacteria have been widely studied for medical use. However, only 80 to 95% of our oceans remain unexplored. This opens up many possibilities to new scientific findings that link our dependence on the healthy oceans even further. Finally, as part of the youth speakers, I'd like to point out how the youth across the world have become drivers of change. We recognize the importance of caring for our planet and the right the next generations have to a healthy and resilient ecosystem. This is why it's a responsibility to make the right decisions and change our consumption patterns to buy products that aren't harmful to the environment. On the other side, we need to stay informed on what is happening right now, so we know what scientists state as the course of action to be taken, and we can join environmental efforts to achieve the necessary goals. Thank you very much, and I hope all this information was a helpful insight on what is going on and the relationship between human health and the health of the ocean.